Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? I'm having a good evening. It is 1:17 a.m. and I had a really fun time tonight. I just dropped off Tanya a little bit ago. I will talk about that in a second. But it's cold outside. It's 26 degrees. The window is really cold. I had the heat. I was sitting in a parking lot. I was reading comments from the vlog, and I pulled into this parking lot of this strip mall so I could read these comments. And the heat was like, just, I had it turned up so high that it was like so nice, but then I started getting tired, and I was like, I need to turn the heat down or I'm gonna wanna go home and go to sleep. And so, yeah, so how are you guys doing today? Are you having a good day? I had a hat on, but I took my hat off. I don't always wear this hat anymore, but I took the hat off. And I put it on as soon as I got out of the shower, so my hair doesn't really look that bad, because I kind of have my hair put over to the side. Oh my Lord. I want to get a Diet Coke, but I'm going to go up here. I was going to go up here and turn around, and I forgot to do that. Okay. So I'll go up here and then go back around and turn around. Well, actually, I just do a circle is what I'll do. And then I'll get a Diet Coke this way. Okay. Peter, what did you do today? Squid. I got up, did a bunch of stuff around the house, went and got coffee, ran a bunch of errands, came back. Alex sent me this meme the other day, and it said like, something about running errands equals like going to Starbucks and getting coffee or something like that. I don't know what it said. It was so funny. Because he's always like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm running errands. I am, though. I have so many errands to run, like, every single day. So, let's see. Okay, what, he's always forever sending me little memes and stuff off of Instagram. Okay, that's all he does. Alex loves to, like, scroll through it. Why is my camera out of focus? How did I do that last night? I can't remember how I did it. It's not working though, or is it? This camera has been going out of focus a lot lately. I noticed it on my drama video today when I was like putting it together. I was like, it goes in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. It drives me crazy. I don't know why, but I think it's time to maybe upgrade to a nicer camera. I maybe keep this as my vlogging camera, and then for my videos at home, upgrade to a nicer camera. So if it goes in and out tonight, I apologize, because I'm not going to keep on looking, you know, back and forth with the camera. But anyway, so I did that, and then I came home, went and got coffee, ran errands, came home, and then it was really cold in Indianapolis today. It was like, it wasn't like windy, but it was windy enough that it felt very cold outside. Right now, it is 26 degrees. Did I say what time it is already? Well, it's 1:20 a.m. now. And then I came back, and I took a shower, and because I wanted to do a review of these Sephora things, and I just wanted my hair to kind of like look nice, and this part over here, darling Jolie Joe, she was sitting straight out to the side from having slept on it. And sometimes like when I sleep with my hand on the side of my face. I know it sounds strange, but sometimes I put my face like this, you know, when I'm sleeping, and so the hair will sit up, and so it's like, oh, it looked horrible, and I couldn't get, it's like where you like take water and try to push it down and it won't do that, you know? So I took a shower and got out, and I did this review video, but I didn't like really, I did my hair kind of, but not really. And this was like early in the day, and I did this review video of this really cool collection that Sephora has going on now. Sephora like collaborated, or Netflix collaborated with these, or Netflix and Sephora, I don't know. They collaborated with like 6 different skincare makeup companies to do these collaborations for the sequel to the movie Jenny Han's book, To All the Boys I've Loved Before, which they made the movie on Netflix, and now the sequel is coming out, or it has come out. I haven't read the books, and I haven't seen the movies. Those books were always such a big deal on BookTube, and I never read them just because I'm not really, I don't love like young adult contemporary romance. It's not like my favorite genre. So anyway, there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't love it. So anyway, and I hadn't seen the movies. Now, Alex has actually seen the movie, the first one, and he really, really liked it and thought it was good. But they did a collaboration with, like, Laneige and Glow. Those were the two that I bought. And there was, like, lipsticks that they did, and then there was, I can't remember what the other things were. But anyway, they were cool. And they were kind of expensive, though. Like, one was $29, and the other one was, like, $40, I think, or something like that. $29 and $39, maybe. So I did that review on my review channel. Go check that out. And then I did a drama video. I kind of like ran around so much today that by the time that I got to doing my videos and stuff like that, it was late. Oh, this is what. So Tanya had asked me if I wanted to go out to dinner with our sponsor tonight and then go to this candlelight meeting. And I used to go to these candlelight meetings all the time. And so I think around the time that I started on YouTube with like BookTube and stuff was when I was still going to those candlelights, and then I kind of like transitioned over. But at that time, I was going to like, so I was going to my old home group on Tuesday nights. Okay, let me get this right. My old group on, so this is like 4 years ago. This would be like 4 years ago to like 3 years ago. Well, I did it for like 3 years, but I don't know. Anyway, about 3 years ago, I stopped going to all these candlelights. So Tuesdays I would go, did I go to a meeting on Mondays? I don't think I did. No, Tuesdays I went to my home group now, which had been my home group before. And a home group in recovery is just, it's a meeting that you make a commitment to going to on a regular basis, that you do service work at. You just make a commitment that you'll be there most weeks. And so, and it's just like it's like your home base, home group is what it is, you know? So that was Tuesdays. I went to that meeting. I still go to that meeting. And then on Wednesdays, I did a candlelight that was from 10:30 to 11:30. I chaired it for 2 years. So I had to be there every Wednesday for 2 years, unless I could get somebody to cover it for me. Loved that meeting. That was a step in a traditions meeting. Like, we would do a step in a tradition every week. And if you're in recovery, you'll know what I'm talking about. And then Thursdays, I went to a candlelight meeting, and it was really late. It went from 10:30 to 11:45, and it was at a recovery homeless halfway house. That was a really good meeting. And it was really important for me at that time that I had been blessed to, it was like I had come back in to the rooms. I hadn't gone to meetings in several years. And so I came back in, and then that was like a year late, 2 years later maybe, but I switched up all my meetings. And, at that time, like, Alex and I were traveling a lot, and that was when we first, had started going to Ultra, like, we had gone for a couple years, and everything was good in my life, and I think to some degree I was taking it for granted. And so I started going to meetings with a lot of people they're called Skid Row meetings, basically. And I mean, people that were just like literally on their last chance, and were just really, really struggling. And it was really good for me to go to those meetings and realize that for the grace of God, there go I, that could be me, right? And it really kept me grounded. And this is how it started. It's interesting because I got a new sponsor when I started going to those meetings, because I wasn't seeing my old sponsor as much. And so I said, oh, it looks like something happened up here, like an accident maybe or something. But so I started going to all these different meetings. Okay, so what happened was my sponsor, I know I'm kind of like going from one topic to the next and like tangentially like changing things. But anyway, my sponsor said to me, he said, I think it would be really good for you to go to some meetings where people don't know how much sobriety you have. Okay, I have 25 years sober, so this would have been about 19 years sober, 18 years sober. And he said, I think it would be really good for you to go to some meetings where people don't know how much sobriety time you have, and you can't, unless somebody asks, you can't say. So I couldn't share in a meeting and be like, I've been sober for, 18, 19 years, whatever it was at that time. I just had to sit there like a newcomer. And so if people in meetings assumed I was a newcomer because they had never seen me at a meeting before, then I just had to sit there and like, I could share whatever I wanted to share, but I could not share my sobriety date unless somebody asked me. And that was how I started going to a lot of different meetings. And a friend of mine, the one that I was talking about at Waffle House the other day, one night he was like, let's go to this candlelight meeting. And I was like, I don't really want to go to the candlelight meeting. My social anxiety is, I talk a lot about having social anxiety, but my social anxiety is bad for meetings too. Like to this day, unless I go with somebody that I'm friends with, like, and even then, I don't really like to go to meetings that I don't know people at. It just makes me nervous, My social anxiety comes out everywhere. So, it even happens in meetings, right? So, I went to this candlelight with him because my sponsor told me I had started going to some other meetings, and, but my sponsor said, you need to start going to some other meetings, it'll be good for you, and get out of yourself. So I started going to some different meetings, and this friend of mine was like, let's go to a candlelight one night. So we went to a candlelight. I think it was this meeting that I went to tonight. It was a Friday night meeting, I think. And, oh, no. The first one that we went to was the Wednesday night meeting, because it was up in the coffee shop area of there was like a little coffee shop, canteen kind of thing. This place. And so, because I remember how we were sitting up there. And then he and I started going for a while, and then he stopped going to meetings. And so I continued to go, and I got a new sponsor there at those meetings, and because I wasn't seeing my old sponsor anymore, and so because I wasn't going to the same meetings, and he and I were still talking, but I was talking to a lot of other people that I had met. So I got my new sponsor. And he and I worked together for 3 years, I think. And I was going to Tuesday up here, which is like my home group. It had been my old home group, and then I changed it to this Sunday night candlelight. So I was still going to the meeting. So I was going to Tuesdays. I was going to a Wednesday, that was at 8:00 p.m. I was going to Tuesday candlelight. And it kind of worked out with Alex and I's schedule really well, because when I was leaving to go to the candlelights, he was going to bed. So it worked really well with our schedule then. And I wasn't vlogging or anything, so it wasn't like I was, up super late vlogging or listening to an audiobook. Like I would go to the meeting, and then I would go to coffee sometimes with people afterwards, and then I would be home by 1:30 or something like that. So Tuesday nights, 8:00. Then Wednesdays, I was going to, and this is at 18, 19 years sober. Wednesday night, okay, so Tuesday, 8:00. Wednesday night, I was going to a candlelight that started at 10:30 and got over at 11:30. Then Thursday nights, I went to the homeless halfway house, and it was 10:30 to 11:45. That was a late meeting. Tanya went with me a couple times to that. She's like, it's so late. By the time I get home, I'm so tired. That was Thursdays. And then Fridays, I went to the 10:30 candlelight. And what I mean by candlelight is that they have actual candles burning at these meetings. So you're sitting in the dark with a bunch of candles. It's very relaxing and serene. So Friday night, I went to this candlelight that was at 10:30, and I got over at 11:30. It was Friday. And then Saturday night, I went to a 10:30 meeting that got done at 11:30. I think that meeting might have been a different program, because they were all at the same place. So I think that might have been a different program, but I don't remember. And then Sunday nights, I was going to that 9:30 candlelight meeting that got done at 10:30, and that was my new home group with my sponsor. And I also had a service position for that meeting that met once a month on Sunday mornings on the other side of town. I live on the north side, it was on the south side, so it took me half an hour to get there. But that was really, I enjoyed that. And yeah, I was super, super active at that time. And I'm still very, very active, but not that active. So Tanya had asked me, I haven't been to the candlelight in a long time. So she asked me if I wanted to go tonight. And she was like, do you want to go, last night she said, do you want to go out to dinner with our sponsor, and then we're going to go to the candlelight afterwards. And I was like, I don't know, let me see what I have done tomorrow and whatever. But tonight, or today when I was like driving around, I was getting coffee and stuff, or I gotten coffee and I was driving around and I was running errands, I was like, I think that would be really fun. Like, I got really excited about it. I was like, I'll wear something a little cute. I'll try to look nice tonight. I want to go out to dinner with, you know, we'll have a nice fun dinner, and then it'll be fun, you know? I think, unless you're, I don't know, maybe if you're not sober, it makes sense, but meetings can be social. I mean, there's obviously a spiritual element to it, you know, when you're going and, you know, learning things and whatever, but at the same time, like, it's social as well. For those of us that are in sobriety, we're seeing people that, we're meeting new people, we're seeing people that we haven't seen in a while and things like that. So I got real excited about it. It was kind of corny, I know, but I was like really excited about it. I was like, oh, this is gonna be so much fun tonight. It's like my kind of night to go out and do something. And so Alex came home, and I had told him that I was gonna go do that. And then he was like, Sarah was like having dinner with her grandma, and then he was like gonna go over to her house, and they were just gonna like hang out and stuff like that. Which Sarah, she and I were like talking about like Airbnbs and stuff like that, and because I was like telling her about my Airbnbs. Mel has been sending me all these Airbnbs. So funny, because Sarah said something about like looking at Airbnbs, and then Mel had been sending me Airbnbs for Phoenix like this whole time, and because I've been looking at a lot of them. And what's so funny is that some of the Airbnbs that Mel has been sending me, I mean, there's tons, you guys, in the Phoenix area, okay, like hundreds. And the ones that Mel has sent me are like the exact same ones that I've been looking at. It's so funny. And I was waiting for the price to go down, because I thought if the price goes down, then that would be like a really good deal. But the prices went up today, some of them. I was like, and I texted Mel, and she said, how rude, or she said rude, LOL, or something like that. So anyway, I'm gonna figure out a place to stay. I'm just, of course, waiting until the very last minute, right? So I'm so excited for that trip too. I just like simple nights. Like, this was a perfect night for me. I'm excited about Mel and I, like, you know, going out to eat. I think will be a lot of fun, and just kind of hanging out and drinking coffee and talking. I'm real excited about it. I think it'll be so much fun. Putting on our PJs or whatever, you know, I'm just real excited about it. I'll have to take some PJs out there, I guess, won't I? Okay, but anyway, what was I gonna say? So yeah, so then Alex came home, and I hung out and I talked to him for a little bit, and then I went upstairs, and I wanted to do like my hair like nice, I thought, but then I ended up putting on a hat. So I took another shower and used all my favorite products, and I need to buy some new shampoo. So, oh, I think I talked about this last night, because a bunch of people commented on my vlog and were telling me different kinds of shampoo and conditioner to get. There was one that somebody recommended from Sephora that I think I'm gonna try. But I just ordered this stuff from Sephora today, so I wish I had known that already. But anyway, I can't remember what it was called, but somebody recommended it and said their mom or somebody uses it and loves it, so I might try that one. I seriously feel like I'm losing my voice, you guys. Do you hear this? So anyway, so I went and picked up Tanya, and then, oh, but I have on, you will not believe, I have these khakis that are real cute, and then I have these Champion socks on that are blue and red stripes, and then I have my gray with the gum sole Air Force Ones on, and then I have this hat on. I know, it's not exactly like model of the world, supermodel, but it was cute. I tried. So anyway, and Tanya looked so cute, my sponsor looked so nice, and we had such a good time. And so I picked up Tanya, and then we drove to Charleston's, and we met our sponsor there, and we had such a good night. Tanya and my sponsor both got fillets. Charleston's is like, I don't know really how to explain it. It's a chain, so if you don't, I don't really know how to explain it. I'm trying to think of something. It's like, I would say Charleston's is equal to cheesecake, kind of. Maybe just a little bit. It's more local feeling. Not as nice as Cheesecake Factory, but better than an Applebee's, if that makes sense. But they're all kind of, you know, within the same kind of deal. It's like that, you know, American food kind of stuff. So, Tanya got a salad, and she got a side salad to start, and then she got, I think she got a side salad to start, and then she got a filet, and my sponsor got a side, did she get a side salad? Yeah, we all got side salads and fillets, and they had these, I got a side salad, and I got a Beyond Burger with fries. It was okay, it wasn't the best. It wasn't a Beyond, it tasted like a veggie burger, like, you know, like a black bean burger. I keep on looking up and seeing it's something flashing. It's probably just these lights when they go by, but I keep on feeling like it's, like my battery flashing at me. But I think the battery that I have in there is fully charged. I could be wrong though, I don't know. So, what was I gonna say? Excuse me. And, I can't think. I don't even know what was I saying. Oh, I got a Beyond Burger, yeah. And they had these croissants. She gave us 2 each. They were like this big. They were like, oh, they were so delicious. Not healthy, I'm sure, at all, but they were delicious. At all. At all. At all? Why does that sound so funny? And, so we got side salads, I got fillets, and I got Beyond Burger with fries. It was okay. And then when we were done, we had like an hour until like the meeting started. And my sponsor really wanted coffee. She can drink coffee like nobody's business. And so we asked the waitress, and it was like nowhere near closing time. They closed at like 11. And we were like, yeah, like Tanya was like, I'd like to have a cup of decaf if you have any. And she was like, oh no, we don't have any decaf. And I was like, well, do you have any regular? And Tanya's like, well, I can't have regular because Tanya drinks regular too late at night. Like then she just like can't go to sleep. So she doesn't like to drink caffeine late at night. Which she got a Diet Coke then later. She got a decaf coffee, which she hated. So then she got a Diet Coke later. Okay, so the woman's like, well, no, we don't have any regular or decaf. And she's like, they just went in there and they threw it all away. And so she's like, I mean, I could make some. And my sponsor said, that would be great. Could you make some? And she was like, I mean, I could. She was like, but then I would have to go in there and I would have to start the whole thing up again, and like, because they threw it all away. And so my sponsor just looks at her and she goes, so you can make coffee, or you don't mind? Or she's like, oh, I don't mind, I can do it. She was like, I don't mind at all, but I would have to brew like an entire new pot. And my sponsor's like, so you don't mind and you will do it, or you don't mind and you don't want it? I'm confused. And the woman just looks at her and she's like, I mean, I can do it. She was like, but I mean, I would have to like brew. She didn't want to do it, is what it was. Okay, but she wouldn't just say like, I don't really want to do it, because of course she's not gonna say that to a customer. And my sponsor was like, it's totally, don't even worry about it. She's like, we can go get some cup of coffee elsewhere. And it was this back and forth thing that I felt like went on for a half an hour. And she was like, are you sure? She's like, I mean, I can't. I mean, I don't really want to. She didn't say I wouldn't want to. She's like, it would be a lot of work, but I can do it. She was like, no, don't worry about it. She was like, we're totally fine. Don't worry about it. So bills came, we paid our bills, and then we went to Starbucks across the street. We all got coffee, and Tanya got decaf, and my sponsor and I got caffeine because we needed some caffeine for the meeting. We were starting to fade a little bit, and she and I are like, we get our second wind and then we're night owls. Tanya, she goes to bed. So anyway, well, sometimes she stays up late, but very rarely. So we went through Starbucks and we were laughing, we were having fun, we were telling stories. It was so much fun. And then we went to the meeting. The meeting was great. Saw a friend of mine who had just celebrated a birthday of like quite some years, so it was great to see him. And it just stopped, and I didn't even know it was anywhere near there. Okay, and the meeting was great. It was weird going to that meeting because I used to go all the time, and my friend that I saw was literally the only person I knew. I mean, I used to go to this meeting every week. I mean, I knew every person that came, and it was literally like the same 20 people every week. And it's just, you know, people go back out, people stop going, I stopped going, you know, it's kind of sad, but I can smell my lotion. Is that so funny? It's that, oh shoot, that lotion, that body butter that I really like. It smells so good. It smells so fresh and clean. What's that called? It's the pink and white. I did a review on my review channel. Oh, Soap and Glory. I love those products so much. I used the body wash tonight, and then I used the body butter. I love it. I don't use it on my face, but I use Aveeno lotion on my face, but I use the Soap and Glory body butter. It smells so good. So anyway, and I used all the Aveda shampoo. I used, not the Aveda, I used the Fairly Traded honey, and then I used the Veganese conditioner, of which I'm like literally out of both of those. Like I might have one wash in each left if I'm lucky. So I want to go get some more of those because I think I'm going to use this as like my daily wash. And then if I get like a silver, gray, or white shampoo conditioner, use that like, you know, every third day or something like that. Because I don't want to use it every day because it'll start making my hair look a little bluish, which I don't mind, but I don't, you know, like I'm getting it to make it look more sparkly, you know, sharper white. So anyway, people always say salt and pepper. My hair is not salt and pepper. My hair is white. Trust me, I wish it was salt and pepper. I wish I could say it's white though. My dad has had white hair forever too. Like his hair went white early. And I mean, he's even like, Peter, I'm salt and pepper. You are like white. I know. My hair is like white. I have like my mom's hair. Her hair turned. Well, they say, this is the old story. So my mom's dad died when she was 4 and my aunt was 6 and my grandma was real young. And my mom used to say that grandma's hair turned overnight. Like it was one day brown and the next day it was white. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what the story that I was told. That's my grandma that went to prison. Oh, is it going out of focus again? Come on. I guess that's the trick right there, isn't it? Is it staying? Okay. So yeah, we had a really, really good time. But when we were on the way home, both my sponsor and I, we were like ready to go and do something. We're like, we're up now, you know? And Tanya's like, I'm so tired. Tanya's like, I worked so hard today. She did. She had like a really long day. She worked from like 7 to 6 or 7 to 7. And so we dropped my sponsor off at her car and made sure that she was safe. And then I took Tanya home. And then I was driving listening to some music and I pulled into the strip mall and I started reading comments from the vlog. And yeah. I always remember the comments, but I don't remember who like left them. But that was my day, and I had a fantastic day. And then tomorrow, Alex doesn't have any work stuff to do. I think he's taking his car in for an oil change, he told me. And there's like these 2 cars at McDonald's just like sitting there, so random. I'm gonna make videos, obviously, and then, I don't know what else. Oh, and then tomorrow night, we have a birthday party that we're going to his friend's house first for like a little hors d'oeuvres, and they're doing drinks and stuff like that, and then we're going to this restaurant that I used to love that I haven't been to in a long time, so I'm excited about that. So 2 nights of getting to go out, that'll be real fun. And yeah, fun little weekend. And Alex texted me earlier when I was leaving the meeting, and he and Sarah were just like laying up on the couch, just hanging out. And then right before I started vlogging, he texted me and said that he was heading home. So, that was that. What was I gonna say about the comments? Oh, I think it's Shelby said that she's writing the paper or studying for the test or writing the paper, but I think writing the paper, that will determine whether or not she graduates from college. And she said that the vlogs have helped her get through college. I just want to say, Shelby, congratulations. You're going to do just fine. And I'm glad that these vlogs in some way served as some kind of distractor to being stressed out about school. It's so funny, like I think back on school, I love when I get comments like that. Just like, I feel like people, it's just so cool to think that people allow, like I've never met, and I don't know that I ever will meet, you guys allow me into your lives. Like it's just, and you share part of your lives with me. It's just like such a cool thing, you know? I mean, I'm just like sitting there reading the comment. I'm like, okay, like if you take yourself out of this surreal world, I think what happens after some point, it's like when you're on YouTube like long enough, you kind of like start, I don't know, because I remind myself enough, but I've seen this happen to so many people, you know, on YouTube, is that I think they kind of forget what a surreal world it is to be on YouTube, right? That like after a while, it's just like, oh, this is my life and whatever, which, you know, obviously I get it. I get that. I relate to that on some level. But then when I stop myself and I'm like, so this person that you've never met, that you possibly will never meet, has watched your vlog for like the duration that they've been in college, or for, you know, a lot of it, and that like that's how they've chosen to spend their days. I mean, like while they've been in college, like, that's just a really cool thing, you know, like, and so many of you guys share just really such neat parts of your life or things you're going through, and I just want you to know I really, really appreciate you sharing that and allowing me into your lives on a daily basis. It's not missed on me, you know. You could be spending your time watching a million other YouTubers and doing a million other things. So, I don't know, it's just really cool to me when I think about it on that level, you know? So, what was I going to talk about? I was going to say something. I'm dying for this Diet Coke now. I swear if I pull through this McDonald's, and this McDonald's is closed tonight, I'm going to be... I mean, it's Friday night. They should be open, right? The last couple times I pulled through here late at night, they've always been closed. I had a Mr. Pitt at dinner, so I guess I can have a Dr. Pepper. I don't have to have a Diet Coke, right? I think it's supposed to be less, I really like this song. It's called it's by Melvin. It's called Vibe. If it's the same song I'm thinking of on Dance Electronic. It just changed. Dance Electronic 53 Joe. Something else. What was I going to say? I can't remember what else I was going to say. I don't know. I don't remember now what I was going to say. It doesn't matter. I'm not talking a lot about my book because I haven't listened to a lot of it. I'm going to try tonight to listen to at least an hour of it. Like, that's my goal, is to, like, listen to an hour of it before I go home. I really want to, like, I think part of it is I'm not really into it yet. So I'm, like, having a hard time. I'm just kind of, like, not really into it yet. But I've got a week, and I'm supposed to finish 4 books in a week. That's not going to happen. And I don't want to get so far behind in my books. I want to be able to... I swear to God, I could put... I swear... I shouldn't say that. That I could put lip gloss on, like, every 2 minutes. But I do love lip gloss so much. Tanya was asking me what it smells like. I don't think it smells like anything. Is it in here? Where can I put my battery? I'm going to put my battery right there. That was not. And you know what? That was my elbow over here. How are you going to do it if you really don't want it? Is there a line at the McDonald's? Are you kidding me? Well, if there's a line, it means that at least they're serving. It looks like their inside is still open. That can't be the case. 1:50 in the morning. Are there people inside there? Eating? Oh, it sure does look like there's people inside there eating. It looks like something's going on. I don't see any police or anything here, but it looks like something's going on in there. No, maybe not. I don't know. It looks like they're closed. Look at the screen. Hello? There's literally like 6 cars outside. Hello? Are you open? How is this McDonald's that's supposed to be open 24 hours a day closed literally every single time I come through here? I'm gonna look in here and see what's going on. I'm gonna be real nosy. Oh, they're just sitting there in the back. Sitting there eating their food. Yep, they sure are just hanging out in there. What's the deal? I'm gonna drive by here and ask this guy. I want to know why they're always closed. Why does it say 24 hours if they're always closed? I hear this guy's coming out right now. I'm gonna ask him. Are you guys closed? This car's backing into me as I'm like sitting right there. I think McDonald's owes me a few free fountain pops for having like gone out of my way to drive over here for this 24-hour place. It's always closed. She's like literally just like standing in there. I don't understand. You know, like I've had people like comment on my videos and they'll say, maybe they just don't want to like serve anybody at, you know, whatever time. Well, don't you think like the general managers would see that they like didn't have any sales between like 1 and 3 or whatever? And like I come through here at such randomly different times that it can't always be. But you know what I mean? Like that, I'm not a big believer in coincidences anyway, but I can't imagine that like they just happen to always be closed when I drive through, you know what I mean? And it's not obviously personal, it's not about me, because they don't know who I am, so it's like, why is it always closed? I don't know, I'm gonna ask the person at this other McDonald's. Let's see if they know why. Oh man. I don't know if you guys know who Zach and Alistair are from the Adventures of Zach and B, but Zach is a YouTuber and he's been around for a while, and he's a really, really nice guy, and he's been real encouraging of me at times. And so his husband is in the military. His husband Alistair, who's equally just seemed like a really, really nice guy. Zach I've talked to a couple times, but I had never talked to Alistair, and they're just a really neat couple, and I think good role models. And Zach, the reason that his channel was called The Adventures of Zach and B was because B was his dog, and that he had, and his dog passed away, gosh, I want to say it was like 1.5 years ago. And he was really upset about it. I remember at the time, like, he just sent me like a really nice message about one of my videos about grieving, and he just did this dedication video to his dog that was just, it was so nice. And so he and Alistair just recently, I noticed on Instagram that they got a new dog, like just in the last week. I think his dog was a pug before, because I think they got another pug. And he did this video where like he drove home with his dog for like its last trip home to see his parents. I mean, it was a lot to watch this video. And he was real emotional in it. It was a fantastic video. Fantastic video. So I think they just got a new puppy. And it got me started thinking about, you know, like people ask us all the time, like, are you getting another dog? When are you getting another dog? And, you know, Alex has made it pretty clear that he doesn't want another dog for a while. And I think when Alex says a while, although I will tell you, he's like, I thought that Alex would say he doesn't want any more dogs, because before PB passed away, Alex he would say, I don't want any more dogs. Like, and I have said, okay, well, this is something we can negotiate. We actually talked a lot about it in marriage counseling, because I said, I will always have a dog. Like, I want to always have at least a dog, you know? And I honestly think that 2 or 3 dogs do better together than just one, because they have, you know, like a little friend or a pack to run with, and they're not so lonely sometimes. And Alex is like, well, we can have a dog, but I don't want to ever have like 3 dogs again, which makes me sad, because, like, you know, that point in our lives was like a point that we'll possibly never have several dogs again, you know? And that was a really fun part of my life, to come home and have the 3 of them there. I'm gonna get real sad talking about this. But it was just like a really special part of my life, you know, and they were my life, you know, and I would come home, and now Boo and Tucker are my life, but it's different, you know, without Pee-Pee. And so it was interesting, because when we were in Mexico, Alex was the one that brought up getting another dog when we were taking a walk one day on the beach, and he'd been thinking about it and all this kind of stuff, like, you know. But, you know, he said, not anytime soon, I want to wait a while. And what's really interesting to me is that I thought, honestly, like, I would be the one that would be, like, ready to get a dog pretty quick. But I haven't thought about it at all. And I mean, maybe it's because we have Boo and Tucker, and, you know, like, we give them so much attention. I mean, we always have, but we, like, give them so much more attention now. It's like, I feel like we cherish, like, every minute that we have with them. And, I don't know when I'm going to be ready, you know? Like, Alex hasn't mentioned it, and I know he's not anywhere near getting another dog, and, you know, the puppies are a lot of work, so I don't know, you know, when that will be. You know, the way that Alex talks about it, it's like he's thinking, like, down the road to, like, when maybe, like, Boo and Tucker aren't here anymore. I don't know. But seeing that today come up, or whenever I saw it on Instagram, kind of, like, started getting me thinking about, like, when will I be ready to get another dog, you know? I mean, I always say this, that I've always said that I would have like 5 or 6 or 7 dogs, but I don't know that I feel that way anymore. You know, having had 3 is a lot of dogs, but I had such specific relationships with each dog, you know, and I have such a specific relationship with Boo, and such a specific relationship with Tucker. I mean, Tucker has literally become my best friend. You know, Tucker follows me everywhere, because Tucker used to, like, hang out with Pee-Pee all day long. And now Tucker follows me everywhere, and, you know, he's always right there when I'm making videos, and, you know, I mean, he's kind of taken over Pee-Pee's role a little bit to what Pee-Pee used to do. And, Boo Radley is my baby. I mean, he just is my baby. I have all these dollar bills in here. I wish I need to dig in there and get some change out. So much change down here. Can I get a large Dr. Pepper, please?
Large Dr. Pepper and what else?
That's it. There's 10 cents right here. Busy here. So I don't know, and I think it's, you know, it's a big responsibility, and it's a big question to ask, and I mean, before we do it, it's going to be something that it's going to be a joint decision that we're both going to have to make, because I mean, it's going to be a lot of work to take care of a little puppy, you know, all over again. And oh, that window's not open. And, you know, Alex was saying that whatever puppy that we get, you know, like, Pee-Pee grew up living in, oh my God, here's a $5 bill. Do you ever find money and you get so excited? I didn't know I had a $5 bill in here. You know, Alex was like, you know, Pee-Pee was a unique dog and had a unique personality. I have so many receipts in here. Because he, I have to tell you, I'm kind of over this, okay? I used this for so long, this coffee lip balm by Treat Beauty. It almost kind of makes me sick. It's kind of like, you know when you go to Subway so much then you can't eat Subway anymore? This is kind of how this is for me. I don't know that I can even use it anymore. I'm kind of over it. I swear by it. I loved it when I used it, but I'm really not into it anymore. Oh, there's my dollar. Looking for my dollar. My dooler, as my friend used to call it. But Alex was like, you know, like Pee-Pee was like a unique dog because, I mean, he's not the only dog in the entire world that's like this. I mean, a lot of dogs are, you know, but like his first 2 years were in a house in Bloomington, Indiana on the IU's campus. And look, I have my little samples from Creed in here that I took on my trip so that do you see? So that I can dash on some cologne if I feel like I need to. But anyway, he was like, he grew up, you know, like in this house with 4 other people, 4 other people, I think. And there was always somebody to take him out. He was on a schedule to go out. He was on a schedule to eat. You know, like, he was very socialized because they would have parties and people over there all the time. There was always people over there. So, you know, people got to know all different kinds of people. Pee-Pee was very well trained. And, you know, because of all this kind of stuff, you know, like, Sarah taught him tricks and all this kind of stuff. And, it's always interesting to me. I just have to say, I don't know that I've received this comment in a long time, but like people used to say back in the day, they would say like whenever I would talk about Pee-Pee in videos, and then I would say that the name that he was given at birth was Duncan, and people would say that I changed his name from Duncan to Pee-Pee because I was jealous of Alex's ex and who gave him the dog, which was probably the nicest thing in the entire world because he basically gave me my best friend that I've ever had. And I have no issues with Alex's ex. In fact, I see him from time to time, and I probably get along with him better than Alex is. I mean, none of us, I get along great with my ex. I don't see him, but I'm civil to. Okay, it stopped. You know, Alex is civil with him. I mean, it's been 12 years, you guys. Let's just be for real, okay? It's been a long time. But it was actually, I thought it was Sarah that named Pee-Pee, but it wasn't. It was another one of their friends from college. And, so yeah, that had nothing to do with me. But I always think it's funny when people are like, oh yeah, Peter changed his name because he's so bitter about Alex's ex. No, that's not the case. His ex was actually like really, 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 really nice. At the end. Because Alex had asked me, like, I think I had talked about this on here, but there was a situation that I saw go on YouTube where somebody that used to be a couple, it was RJ and Will from Shep 689. He didn't know that his dog had died, and he found it out through like an Instagram thing. And so Alex and I were out to dinner, and I was telling him about that because we used to both watch that vlog. Well, he watched it very short-lived, but I watched it the whole time that they vlogged, and I would tell him stuff and whatever. And he said to me, well, would you have a problem with me contacting my ex, you know, like, to let him know how things are going if it really got that bad? Which, who knew that we were right around the corner from that, you know, at that time.
One man, please.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Do you know why the McDonald's on 96th Street is always closed late at night? Do you have any idea?
Let me check. She might.
Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. I just wondered.
Yeah, I don't know. But we're always open.
You are always open.
4:30, and then we're closed for like an hour because we had to switch our systems to breakfast. But
gotcha.
But we're pretty much always open.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good one. I just wondered. But so when things started getting really bad, Alex was like, do you care if I call him? I said, absolutely not. I said, my God, he gave you the dog. He was part of his life. Please call him. He was so gracious. He was just so wonderful, you know? Like, and I think, you know, he said things to Alex that were just like, Alex needed to hear, you know? And, I think sometimes, you know, like, we really want to see, like, the worst in people, or we expect that they're gonna, you know, act a certain way, like, and we don't really give people the ability to grow up and change, you know? And it's like, I don't know. I just love that I live in a world where my husband can call his ex, you know, who gave him our dog, and they shared memories about him, and they can have a really nice conversation, and it can just be that, you know? Or when Scotty died, you know, and I called my ex, and Alex was completely fine with that, and there's like no issues there, you know? Like, I think it's so fantastic that many of us can live in a world. I've had friends of mine, like I have a hard time, like, understanding, like, being really good friends with your ex. I know people do it. I have friends of mine that do it. I don't understand it. And here's how I feel about it. Like, they were such an important part of my life at one point that, like, do I want to have a civil relationship with them? Yes, absolutely, you know? Just because somebody's not in my life anymore doesn't mean that and I'm talking about my exes. There was nothing. I mean, okay, in the past, I've talked about this, but I'm talking about my past 2 exes that I had real, authentic relationships with. They did not end horribly. They ended nice. They ended civil. I wouldn't say nice, I mean, it was a breakup, but they ended civilly. Both of us were involved in the breakup and deciding that that's where we were at, you know, but that person, like, you know, I think breakups are interesting because it's like 1 second before the breakup, you guys, like, are best friends and you know each other and you're so intricately, you know, connected to that person, and then you break up and the next second they're completely out of your life forever. It's surreal. It's weird, right? And unlike death, they could keep on going on with their lives, and so do you. So it's like, I think sometimes that's why social media is so hard. Because you see what that person is doing with their life, you see what they're going on, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Especially if there's animosity or anger there or whatever. But that isn't the case with us, you know, and I don't want to be with my ex. My ex doesn't want to be with me. He's very happy in what he's doing, and so am I. And the same goes for Alex's ex, you know. I don't know if my ex is dating somebody. He did for a long time. He actually started dating somebody before I did. But I do know that Alex's ex is in a very serious relationship. But I mean, my God, it's been 12 years plus, you know, at this point now that we've all been broken up. So it was funny, like the first time that I ever, this was a couple years ago. Oh no, guys, probably been 6 or 7 years ago now. I was in Walmart picking some stuff up one night and I looked like crap. I was like in this big t-shirt that was all stretched out. I think I'd been doing like yard work or something crazy, which is not something I would ever do. And I was like in this big stretched out t-shirt, and it was like a weekend night, and I had gone to like get like frozen pizzas and popcorn and chips and candy and just crap to watch movies. Alex and I are gonna watch movies, right? And so I have like sweat shorts on, and I just, maybe I had worked out or something, I don't know, but I wasn't in any great shape. I do know that I was heavy, because that was like, I saw him, like, and he was at the end of an aisle, and I was like, oh my God, like, of any, like, and at that point, like, I had been, like, I'd seen him at, like, Pride Day 1 year, 2 years, I think. You know, I'd seen him some places that he had worked in Indianapolis. I ran into him many times out at gay bars the first year that we dated, and Alex, you know, introduced me to, I mean, I knew him from, but I never had any kind of conversation with him past, like, hey, it's nice to meet you, whatever, right? And, so I'm in Walmart, and I'm like in this frozen pizza aisle, and I look down, and he's like standing there, and I'm like, oh my God, like, why on the day that I look, you know, the worst I've ever looked, am I gonna run into him and have to have a conversation with him, and I'm like embarrassed and all this kind of stuff. Not that it mattered, you know, it didn't. But anyway, so I'm like, okay, I can either act like I don't see him and leave, or I can go up to him and do the right thing. So I just went up to him, I was like, hey, and he was like, hey, how are you? And I was like, I'm good. And we sat there and talked for like a half an hour, and we had such a good conversation. It was so funny, because I thought to myself when I left, I told Alex this, he's like, He was like, you actually are not anything alike. Because I said, we're so alike. I said, if he wasn't your ex, like, I think he and I would be really, really good friends. He was like, he goes, I don't think you're very much alike. He goes, I probably wouldn't be with you right now if you two were that much alike. I'm like, I think we have some similarities, which is why he is your ex and I'm with you now. Alex was like, I don't think so. But anyway, he's a super nice guy. I think all that stuff with relationships is hard. You never really know, you know. There's no textbook on it. And then I've had friends of mine that it's just like, I mean, I feel blessed, you know, I feel blessed to like have had you know, the relationships I've had in my life. It was interesting because, you know, I don't remember the last time that he reached out to me. Well, it was funny. Okay, so this was like 2 months ago. This was after Thanksgiving, before Christmas sometime, I don't know. Maybe I talked about it on here, I doubt it though. But he reached out, there was like this thing that we used to say to each other, and he randomly just texted it to me. It was like this joke from a TV show. And I just texted back, LOL. And I hadn't like talked to him since the summer, when Scotty passed away. And so I said, like, I texted him back, this is my ex, and I said, you know, like, hey, how have you been? He was like, I've been good. And he was like, how are you guys doing? I was like, we're doing good, you know, whatever. And I was just kind of like, whatever. I always just kind of keep it short. But this was the time, okay, this was around, I'll tell you exactly when it happened. It was the time that I even said on here, and I addressed it, that, remember when I had made the decision, it was like right before I stopped. This was like probably a week or two, so it would have been in December, before I stopped making, I said that Alex and I had a conversation, and I wasn't going to share any of this stuff on here anymore, and then I came back and I changed my mind. Do you remember that? Because people were really infiltrating my personal space and my personal life. So because they were contacting family members and friends of mine, and it was really intrusive and rude and disgusting and vile. So and it is, period, okay? You know, we want to talk about beauty influencers and YouTubers, and that when fans show up at their door to get a picture, we think that's intrusive, right? But I guess people don't think that there's an issue with people contacting my family and saying horrible things to them, or my friends and saying horrible things to them. I don't know who in their right mind thinks that that's okay, but whatever. So I said to him, I've let that go. I hope. But when I'm reminded of that issue, I struggle, okay? But anyway, I don't think it's happened maybe since I said all that stuff, or if it has, I'm not aware of it. But anyway, I said to him, I said something like, you know, so some people in my life, you know, have been contacted, and he said no, and he said, what, I mean, he goes, what would they say to me? And I said, I don't know what he goes, I don't care what they say to me. He goes, all I'd have to say back is that you were a great boyfriend for the entire time that we were together, and that we broke up because we fell out of love with each other. And you know, like, I think sometimes everything seems like more of a mystery, like maybe in retrospect or online when I talk elusively about my ex, because I want him to have his privacy, because he deserves that, you know? And he's not in my life today, and he didn't ask for this. But the reality is, that is as simple as it was. He was a great boyfriend to me. I was a great boyfriend to him. We fell out of love and became friends. Like, we were sharing space as roommates that were not passionately in love anymore. You know, and I think, like, it really wasn't any deeper than that. It was so funny that he kind of just like cut it down real quick. It was just like, this is what it is, you know, or something like that. I don't remember how he said it, but it was real simple like that, you know. And I was like, that's so true, you know, like that's just it. That's it. That was all it was, you know. It wasn't that deep. I think sometimes in breakups you always want to tend to like blame the other person, and you know, this and that, and it's just. It's not necessary. Now, let me say, I think there are some situations that are horrible, horrible, horrible situations that I do think that maybe one person, you know, I'm just talking about run-of-the-mill breakups. I'm not talking about, I didn't know why I didn't go all the way across with that. I don't know why I'm not talking about, like, we're really, you know, I'm not talking about serious breakups, you know, I'm talking about serious breakups, but I'm not talking about, like, you know what I mean, like seeking professional help or whatever kind of breakups, like those kind of breakups. That's on a completely different level, I think. And, but I've had like girlfriends of mine before, they're like, well, I've had guy friends of mine too, that they're like, okay, I stopped it because I started kind of like alluding to a story that is not mine to tell. So anyway, I mean, nobody on here would have known anything about who these people could have possibly been, but I'm just gonna leave it out. But anyway, but you know, I've known people before that like really struggle with the social media stuff, right? Like I started saying this and then I kind of went into talking about like one of my good friends, but I've known friends of mine or people in my life that have really, really struggled with like the social media stuff, like seeing other people, like their partners or exes, go on and like live their best life, you know. And it's like social media, I think, is such a poor representation of somebody's life anyway. You know what it's like? It's like, do you remember those family Christmas cards that people used to send out? And it would always be like, you know, like mom and dad and like the, you know, the son, the daughter, and then the younger daughter, and they're all sitting in a row and like matching sweaters and outfits, and then a dog, right? And it's like, my mom used to hate those Christmas cards. And it would be like, you know, like, John got a promotion this year, or he's now vice president of such and such, and I'm in my 25th year teaching and won 3 awards this year from my school district. And, you know, John Jr. JJ, you know, pledged, you know, the Fiji at Harvard, and is studying pre-law, and has a girlfriend whose dad is in the Senate, and, you know, Judy, because I love that name, Judy Smith-Jones, the daughter, you know, she is just got accepted to Smith, where she will start studying a double major of, you know, prehistoric Latin and dance next year, you know. Our youngest, Sally Jo Smith-Jones, was just accepted to the Junior National Olympic diving team, where she scored a perfect 10 across the board and is being scouted by universities at the age 4. You know, and our dog has, you know, whatever, been doing commercials on TV. My mom she hated those. She hated those. And I remember one year, and this was before either of us were sober. Oh my God, now the battery's dying. One year, before either of us, and I have no idea how much juice the next battery has in it because it wasn't fully charged when I got it. But my mom said to me, she said something, I can't remember how she said it, but this was before we got sober. And she said, I'm gonna take a picture of like an empty chair or something. And she said, I'm gonna send it out to everybody. And she said, I'm gonna say, I'm working retail and I'm miserable. Peter's in treatment for like the 3rd time and the dog died, having a bad Christmas or something like that. I can't remember what she said, but she was like so bitter about those cards. She was like, I hate those Christmas cards where they're always wanting to tell you how perfect their life is. She's like, you know that they're all just a bunch of crap anyway, and that they have like the most miserable lives, but they want everybody to think that they're like having this perfect life. I think there's a lot of truth to that in reality. I've met a lot of those Christmas card people since those days, and let me just tell you, they don't have the most fantastic lives. That is so weird that there's all those cars parked there at Chick-fil-A. They having some late night meeting there or something? I've driven through this strip mall before on a vlog and looked at all the things that are here. I don't know why I just remembered it, but I looked over here at TJ's Sweet Tooth and I was like, I have gone through here before. Okay, hold on, I'll be right back. Oh my God, you guys, this camera is so hot. It's like I took the battery out and it's like burning up. Ow. Damnation. You can go over here to Couture Wigs and you can get your Ava Gabor wig, and then you can go over to Circle City Comics and you can get you some comic books, and then you can go around the corner to Five Guys and get, is that Five Guys Pizza or Five Guys Cheeseburgers? I never know. Or you can go over here and get Asian Bistro or Firehouse Subs, or what's all you can eat sushi? Qdoba, Skyline Chili. There's all kinds of stuff in this strip mall, my lord. And there's a Pizza Hut and a McDonald's and a Wendy's. That's the McDonald's I usually go to that's always open. It's the same woman every time. Taco Bell, Rallies. I hate Rallies. Get that Rallies in your car and your car will stink for days. I haven't had Rallies in years. I'm totally fine with it. But I will tell you, if I never had Rallies again as long as I lived, I would be fine with that. But I will tell you one thing, and I do not love banana stuff, but I have to tell you, Rallies used to have, and I don't know if they still do it anymore or not. I've only been to Popeye's Chicken maybe once or twice in my life. One was when I did a review, and it was okay. But I don't eat chicken, obviously, more because I'm a vegetarian. But what is Beauty and Beyond? I don't know what all this stuff is. Is that, are all those cars? Yes, something is going on. We're going to have to pull in there and see what's going on in a second. But anyway, the other time I went to Popeye's Chicken was when I wasn't a vegetarian and I got chicken there and I was not impressed whatsoever. But Rallies used to have a banana shake, and I got it one time and it was so good. I was like, oh my God, this is maybe one of the best shakes I've ever had in my entire life. But I don't really like banana stuff, which isn't that interesting. I mean, it's not interesting that I don't like banana stuff, but isn't it interesting that, I really liked it. Okay, I have to tell you something that's funny. Well, it's not funny really, but somebody reached out to me. I don't know who they are. I got an email and I just like skimmed it because it was like, it wasn't a super long email, but I was like going through emails. I was trying to like see some of these business emails that I had gotten that were sent to my business email address. But anyway, I was skimming through it and somebody asked me about, like, it's their anniversary or something, and they were like, have you and Alex ever been to the Sybaris, okay? And if so, would you recommend it? Which was really, I don't know why. I thought, you know, I'm kind of an open book, but when I got the email, I wasn't offended, I mean, at all, but I was kind of like, kind of a personal question. You know what I mean? Like, they were really just wanting to know if it was like worth the money, which I thought was totally a fair question. So the Sybaris, which is literally right up here somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I pass it whenever I'm vlogging. I didn't even know it was over here until one night I was vlogging and I was like, oh, there's the Sybaris. So the Sybaris is this place, and you can go and you can rent the rooms, I think, by like hour increments, like by 3 to 5 hours, or like 12 hours, or like overnight. It's really not that expensive. I have looked it up, and they're basically romantic rooms. We'll just call it that, right? And they have like, so when you go in, it's kind of like very secluded. Not really, it's right off the main road, but I mean, like, once you're in there, because I've never driven in there, but I can see, like, when you, where is it? Here, I'm gonna pass it here soon, I think. But I've seen the pictures online, and it's like they have pools in the room with waterfalls and slides and mirrors on the ceiling and all that kind of stuff. Now, I've had quite a few people that I know that have gone, like, you know, married couples and not married couples, that they love it. They think it's great. So, but I haven't known anybody that's gone to it recently. Like, I would say, like, in the last 10 years. It was kind of a thing back in the day. People, here it is, Sybaris right here. Gift certificates, tours daily. You can take a tour, I guess. Pool suites, romantic getaways, private pool suites. See, you can't even get back in there. There's like one of those things that you have to, like, it goes up, you know. But I mean, I've heard good things about it. I've heard it's worth the money. I mean, it's a romantic suite. I don't know. I call a hotel room a romantic suite, so. My friend Valerie, whenever I say anything on a vlog about, like, getting romantical, or we had some, like, romantic time or private time. I mean, what? I'm a married man. What do you know what I mean? Like, it cracks me up. Like, I don't know really how to say it, but it's like, at the same time, it's like, okay, we're married folk, you know what I mean? Like, and we've been married together forever. It's like not our life is that exciting, you know what I mean? But it's so funny, because whenever I'll say it, Valerie will be like, whenever I see her next, she'll be like, romantical time, huh? I'll be like, girl, shut up. Anyway, it cracks me up. Romantical time. Oh my God, I was telling Ballerini this. Okay, so I call my friend Valerie Ballerini, and there was somebody on the vlog, I just saw it because I was, like, reading through comments last night before I told her this, and somebody's name is Kimberlini, and I was like, oh my God, Ballerini, there's a Kimberlini out there, and I don't think this is probably her real name, so it was a comment on my video, so I don't feel bad repeating it. So I'm sorry that I'm repeating your name on here, but it's in the comment sections. So, but her name is Kimberlini Bambini. And so I told Ballerini, I said, I'm gonna start, her name's not really Ballerini, it's Ballerini. I mean, it's not really Ballerini, it's Valerie. And I said, Valerie, I'm gonna start calling you Ballerini Bambini, because I think that is fantastic. I love that so much, that is her name, this girl's name. So you're probably one person I will never forget, just so you know, because I thought that was fantastic. I have John Denver songs stuck in my head. Has it ever happened to you where you just get the most random song stuck in your head? But I can just hear the melody, I can't think of the song, the words. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Somebody just asked me tonight, like in a comment, I don't know on what channel it was, if my videos get demonetized because of me singing on them. They haven't yet, but you know what? I'm wondering now, like in retrospect, if that's what's happened. I mean, it's not like I haven't thought about it, you know what I mean? I think you're allowed like 7 seconds of a song or something like that. And now I do know that YouTube has changed things so that, like, if there's music in the background, like if you're going through a store and there's music on in the background, I think that's supposed to be allowed. But I could be wrong with that. That's why I like don't vlog. Like, people don't understand why I don't vlog like when I'm in Miami, like a lot. Because if you've ever walked through the streets of like South Beach, it's music constantly. I mean, it's like you go from one place. I mean, you literally cannot probably go a foot or two without hearing music in South Beach in Miami. So there's no way for me to record there, you know, out on the streets. Not to mention it's so loud that it would be really, really hard for me to, you guys wouldn't hear me unless I was just showing the scenes of whatever it is. I mean, I could do that and then put music over it, but that's some serious editing right there. I don't know about all that. Now I kind of want to go into this Sybaris and see what's going on there. There's cars and things. Oh my Lord, there's people in there doing it right now. And then there's a lover's lane right next to you. You get your lingerie and it says romantic gifts. And oh my God, they got those gyros there too. Is that how you pronounce it? Gyros? Gyros? I always thought it was gyros. But you can get you some gyros, some lingerie, and head on over to the Sybaris and do it all night long. That actually does sound like a good romantic date for a married couple, doesn't it? Well, I don't eat them anymore because, well, I mean gyros. Because I'm a vegetarian. Oh my God, this isn't the point of the vlog where I need to stop, you know? If you ever read the book, Turtles All the Way Down, this area that I'm in right now, coming up on, is where everything takes place. It takes place all in that area. I think, yeah, and the gas station I pass on the way here is where, if you ever saw the movie Fault in Our Stars, it actually was filmed in Pennsylvania, I believe. But, because it's cheaper to film video, or film movies in Pennsylvania than it is in Indiana. I don't know why that is, but that's what I've heard. So they film a lot of video, or movies that are supposed to take place in Indiana, they film them in Pennsylvania or other places, right? I don't know why Pennsylvania, but apparently that's one they pick a lot for Indiana. So, because The Fault in Our Stars by John Green took place in Indiana. It took place in Indianapolis right up here. Because this gas station, he says where the gas station is in the book is right, I pass it every single night, North Central High School, where Augustus Waters played basketball. I pass every single, that's where my cousin Caroline went to high school. I pass it, and Alex was actually supposed to go to high school there, but then they moved, and he went to the same high school that I ended up going, or that I went to first, and then he went to later. But, so I passed by North Central High School, where, Augustus Waters in the book, he played basketball for them before he got sick. Cancer. I think he wore a North Central letter jacket in the movie. Weird little facts. For my booktube channel one year, for my first booktubeathon I did, so they do like daily challenges, video challenges, and one of them was like recreate a scene in a book or something like that, or I don't know. And you could do whatever, right? Like there's like no strict rules around these things. So I took like several of the places in the book and I went and I filmed them. Like Holiday Park is in the book. And I filmed Holiday Park, like driving by it, I think. I don't remember, it's been forever since I did it. In Holiday Park, there's also this like skeleton thing that's like this piece of artwork that looks like bones. And it's in the book, or I think it's in the book and the movie. I've actually never seen it. I don't think I've ever seen it. The Art Museum, Crown Hill Cemetery, where is it Augustus? Augustus Waters is buried. Crown Hill Cemetery is gorgeous. And, it's there. I put it in the video as well. Do you guys want to hear a really weird story about Crown Hill Cemetery? Okay. So I love it. It's a beautiful cemetery, but it's very, very spooky. It's been around forever. And it has these huge mausoleums, huge, you know, those things like for super wealthy families and stuff like that. And some of them are like hundreds and hundreds of years old. So when I was in high school, my friends and I would go out there for photography assignments, and we would take pictures because it's just like there's a lot of really cool trees out there, and there's like this one hill in Crown Hill Cemetery is like at the top of this hill, and it looks down. It's just gorgeous. So we would do photo shoots out there, and actually my junior year, we had to do slideshows for photography, and so my junior project finale was a slideshow. I can't remember what the song was that I did it to. It could have been a Smith song, maybe. I was real artsy back then. But it was two of my friends, and they were out there, and you know what, no, it was all in my senior project, and I did it to the Talking Heads song. I think this song is called Everything is Flowers, and I started it off, and it was like, it showed a lot of industry stuff, and then it was my friends, and they were like walking down the street, and it was like a side street in downtown Indianapolis, and then it was Crown Hill Cemetery, and we brought like ironing boards and vacuum cleaners, and so my friend is like in the middle of all of this, and I think I had a sign or something said like being domestic, or like housework is like death, or something like that. It was supposed to be like, you know, it was supposed to be an analogy. It was supposed to be real artsy. And she's like ironing something like in this graveyard, and that picture I think won an award for. That one picture, it was kind of a really cool picture. And then she wasn't on a grave or anything, she was like on the road to the side. But anyway, and then at the end it showed them like walking, and all of the pictures were in black and white. And at the very end, they were like walking hand in hand in a mustard. You know, I think it's so funny about that. It's two girlfriends of mine, and the fact that like it caused such controversy, I remember, because I had these two girls holding hands walking through a mustard field, and it like showed pictures, and they were like walking, holding hands, and then they were further away walking, and then walking further, holding hands, and then walking further. It was like 4 pictures at the end of the song, and then they turned around and they were like real up close, and it was the two of them like face to face like that. But I remember like the holding hands thing like was controversy when I did that. But anyway, that was my senior photography project. That might have been one of the only classes I ever got an A in. I didn't even get an A in English, I don't think. And I loved English in high school. But I always loved like the literature side more. Oh, I wanted to go into that one place back there, and I didn't do it. Oh, hell's bells. Well, I guess I'll turn around and see what it is. I always wanted to go, I always liked the literature part more than like the, how far back do you think that is? It's kind of a while. Oh my God, the International House of Pancakes. This is the original House of Pancakes. I mean, this is the original Pancake House. This is one of Melissa and Jason's favorite restaurants. Melissa brought me here one time. I don't think I'd ever been there before. And she's like, we're gonna try all these different pancakes because you've never had these pancakes before, blah, 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 whatever. And I was like, girl, whatever. And we tried like 3 different kinds of pancakes that day. We tried like blueberry, because I had never, can you believe it? I had never had blueberry pancakes till a couple of years ago. Chocolate chip pancakes, and something else we tried. I can't remember what it was. We had so much fun. I feel like that was before, that was the day that we went, that was before we did the Fox Hollow Farms paranormal like experience that night, because New Age People is in there, and I went to New Age People and I bought that smudge spray that's supposed to keep spirits away. And then which for some reason I cannot throw away to save my life. I just like, I see it sitting up there. I have never used it since. I'm just like, I can't throw it away. And then I bought that stone that I put on my necklace. Oh, black tourmaline is what it's called. Tourmaline. And tourmaline. I don't know. Tourmaline. That stuff is supposed to like have a crack in it or whatever if you like, if spirits come to try to like attack you. I looked on mine, it doesn't have that. So like a scratch or a crack or something like that. I don't think anybody was paying any attention to me that night at Fox Hollow Farm. That whole situation was kind of sad in retrospect. A lot of people have asked if I'll continue to do the 2 video requests I have received. So, like, overwhelming amounts of requests are to go and do more paranormal investigations on this channel, which I need to just set it up and do it. And the second one is, when am I doing my predictions video on my main channel? I don't know that I'm gonna do another, I mean, it's coming up on March now. I don't know that I'm gonna do another predictions video. I don't know that I really feel like it. I don't know that I have any predictions. I mean, I guess I could. I didn't really have any predictions when I did the first one. I didn't really realize people would like it so much. But that was a fun video to do. Meeting with the psychic twins was really fun. I forgot about that. That was like a year ago. That trip to LA like really changed my perception of being a YouTuber a lot. You know, like, I really had fun on those trips. Like, they were really good trips. And I don't even think it was just the YouTubers that I met. I think it was just a sense of everybody I talked to. Like, this was interesting to me, okay? Like, whoever I would talk to, this wasn't the YouTubers. But like, I would go to the hotel and I would get like coffee in the morning, right? They had a bar downstairs and I would get coffee. And I remember like I met, like this one day, I met, like the bartender was talking. He was like, this might be the second trip that I went when Alex didn't go with me. I can't remember if it was the first or the second trip. I feel like it was the first trip though when Alex did go with me. But this guy was like really nice, this bartender, but he was like, are you out here for business or, you know, pleasure? And I'm like, well, I'm out here, you know, just like for fun, but like, you know, I'm doing some stuff for like, I do make YouTube videos and whatever. He's like, oh, really? What's your channel about? Question number 1, what's your channel about? I said, well, I have several channels, but it's mostly commentary about beauty influencers and, you know, other YouTubers out there. Second question, how many subscribers does your channel have? Every time I would talk to somebody, okay, on both trips, that was somehow connected to YouTube or connected to the acting world, they were like trying to get into, first 2 questions, what's your channel about and how many subscribers do you have? Which I thought was really interesting, you know? I mean, I guess not. I think like when, I know I've put this lip gloss on about 6 times. Get over it. I love it. I think like before I started YouTube, like I had a different impression of like what YouTube was like. Like, I think I thought it was like, and I don't think it matters on like what level you're on. Like, as long as you're posting videos consistently, you know, like, not just randomly doing a video here and a video there, but like you've made a commitment, like, okay, this is something, like, just like any other thing that you would do, whether it's like working out or, you know, being part of like a book club or being part of like a crochet club or whatever, you know, like, I think it's anything that you make a commitment to that you're gonna do on a regular basis. I think it's like when you start doing that, like, it feels completely different, right? Because, like, I think it's kind of just like, it takes on a different kind of like meaning after that. And I don't think it really matters if you have 20 subscribers or if you have 2,000, 2 million subscribers. I think it's kind of the same to some degree. Now, okay, I've met quite a few YouTubers of all different ranges. Some that have, you know, 20,000, some that have 2 million subscribers. I've met YouTubers of all different sizes that it is business for them. Like, from the beginning, it was, I'm doing my channel because I want to make money, and everything I do is for business. It's business. Like, it's all just about business to them. What is open back here that is such a big deal that there are 9 million cars? Illusions Bar and Grill. Could this possibly, this bar over here, could this be it? I guess it is. Who knew? So anyway, man, this parking lot is packed. Well, it's Friday night though, I guess. That would make sense, wouldn't it? But anyway, but I have to say, like, by and large, and I think the people, like, it surprised me who's super business-minded. It wasn't the ones that I thought that way, like that when I met them, like, the ones that were very business-minded surprised me. Yeah, like, they weren't the ones that I thought would think that way. I don't know. And I think that the majority of people that do YouTube, like, consistently for videos, do it because they love it and they're passionate about it. And they just are really, they enjoy almost everything about YouTube. And I think they're very creative people. And I think that's a commonality I've seen in a lot of YouTubers out there, whether they're small channels that continue to post regularly forever, or if they're big channels that have just made it lucky. Because let's just be for real, like, how much of it is, I was at the end, but like, how much of it is just luck, right? Like, so much of it is. So, you know, I always feel bad when people are like, why do you think my channel's not getting any attention? Or why do you think my videos aren't getting noticed? And, you know, like, I don't know. I really don't know the answer to how to do that. You know, and for a while, I would, like, I've shouted out quite a few people. Today, I shout out channels today that when I watch them, I am like, either profoundly moved by laughter, or I just think they have really good insight into a specific situation, or I like their opinion about something, or their personality is just like, I watch it and I'm like, damn, this person's made for YouTube. You know, like, something about them, like, and what they're putting out there. I hate that word, content. I think it's so great. So great. I think it's such crap. I don't know why that word bothers me. You know what? It's not that the word content bothers me. Like, if I said to you, like, you know, like, oh, the content that I put out or whatever. It's, I think, the phony manner in which it's said. Like, when people are like, well, my content. Or, I mean, I've heard it since before I started on YouTube, people saying it, you know? I don't know. It just bothers me. I mean, I've seen some content that I think is really well edited, and then it's like, I mean, I'm not doing anything special, I know that. It's just me and my voice. And I don't pretend that it's anything that it's not. But it's like, you know, okay, like, this is where it is for me. And I know people are going to be like, completely disagree with me on this. And they're like, and I'm just, I know that, you know, looking at art and people's, what they like and what other people don't like, you know, to me is like, what's the word I'm looking for that starts with a P? Why can't I think of it? Not perspective, but, shit, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, we're like, if somebody likes this and somebody likes this, it's like, well, it depends on that person. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, like, you can't look at art and say, well, this is great and this isn't, right? Okay. Where I agree with that, would we also, to some degree, I know people are going to be like, no, I totally disagree. And I think when we talk about the motive and whatever, okay? But, like, let's say if somebody sits and they paint a picture, and every day it's a point picture, you know, and they're like doing little dots, and, you know, every day they're working on it for like 2 years, right? And at the end, it's this like circle that stands out 3D, right? And then you have somebody, and they call that artistic content. And then you have somebody that, like, they take a piece of paper, they pull it out of a notebook, and they draw a circle on it, and they say, that's the circle, right? I have struggled, personally, this is just me, in seeing that the effort that went into both of those is exactly the same, okay? Do I think that some people could, if you wanted to analyze the hell out of this person's motive and inspiration to draw the circle and what brought them there and their life history of drawing this circle in this notebook piece of paper that maybe has greater value than a year of this person spending, yes, I can totally see that, okay, from an artistic, analytical point of view, right? I can totally get that. This got real deep. But when we want to talk about artistic content and the effort that goes into it, I can't buy into the fact that that circle that you just ripped out a piece of paper and drew a circle on is the same level of an effort that went into the other one. So when I'm seeing people that don't call their stuff content, putting great effort and work into what they're putting out there, and then other people calling videos content like mine, sitting there while I'm, you know, like, and I slip sometimes and say it, you know, but when they're sitting there and they're watching, or they're sitting there, you know, like in a chair like me, and they're talking about, I don't know, it's a lot to me. There's a lot of phony BS that goes on YouTube. I think sometimes it's hard. I think, like, people ask me all the time, like, what's hard about being, like, older on YouTube? It's not so much, the things you would think, like, I think it's harder for me, maybe, to, like, I don't know. I think, like, one of the things is that I think there's a huge amount of people that are older like me that watch YouTube, and they want to see somebody that they relate to that's of the same age group on YouTube. I think that's a huge thing on YouTube right now. I think that's a big part of my audience, you know? But I have an audience, I think, that's, like, kind of surpasses all different age groups, because I have people in there that say all the time, like Shelby earlier said that, I don't know Shelby's age. Maybe she went back to college and she's 80, but you know, like, I have people from all different age groups that watch my videos, especially my vlog over here. So I don't know, but I think I struggle. Okay, I think I struggle playing the game, and this is why I had to stop and just kind of remove myself from it. I think I struggle playing the game and not personalizing it. You know, when you get older, things mean more to you, I think. Maybe not, I don't know. But to me, the older I've gotten in life, it's like, I don't know. I personalize stuff. I can only speak to myself. I don't know if it's to my age, I don't know what. But, like, I think it's harder for me. I don't know, maybe my age doesn't really affect me. I don't wake up and feel like, God, I'm so old, how do I relate? I never feel that way, you know? I do think it's interesting though, like, you know, like we have ETV and we have all these things, and, you know, they'll like do like stories about like Kylie Jenner or whatever, you know, or Kendall Jenner, who are young, and you'll have 50 or 60-year-old women at home like watching this stuff and having an opinion about Kylie Jenner, but I have an opinion about Tana Mojo in a video, and people will come to my video and be like, you're so old, why are you talking about this? You need to go to the retirement home. And I'm like, okay, that's ageist as hell, first of all, okay? And just because they're a YouTuber, you feel a different way about it because you stan this person so hard. Like, you're such a huge fan of this person that, you know, that's always interesting to me as well. When you take it out of, and people are like, well, they're not celebrities, they're YouTubers. These people have more of a following and get more likes and whatever than some of these huge mainstream celebrities that we see, you know? That is always interesting to me. Like, because I'm a certain age, I no longer am allowed to have an opinion based on life experience. I'll tell you right now, one of the things I wish in my life is that I wish I had listened to the people, like my dad, that wanted to give me advice in my life when I was younger. You know, I remember my dad said to me one time, I wish I could show you all the mistakes I've made in my life and all the successes that I've had, and, you know, you could follow that path and, not make the same mistakes and follow the successes, and you would have an amazing life. And he was like, but I know you have to make your own mistakes, and you have to have your own successes, and you have to make your, live your life the way that you're going to live it. And I think that's true, but like there became a point with me when like I would have a conversation with my dad. I can remember asking my dad for advice, and then he would say, are you going to take it? And then like I would ask him for advice, and I would do the total opposite, even in sobriety, And I remember there became a point, I don't remember what it even was about. It was like 25 or 26, and I asked him for advice on something, and I like took it, and it was like the right advice, obviously. I mean, my dad he's not perfect, he's not right about everything, but like based on life experience. And I took it, and I remember thinking to myself, from now on, if I'm going to ask my dad for advice, I'm going to take his advice. Like, if he's going to give me advice, I'm going to listen to it. And if I'm going to ask other people for advice, Tanya's husband is somebody that I go to a lot for. Tanya is somebody I go to for advice, my sponsor. If I'm going to go to somebody for advice, and I'm going to ask them, unless it's something that I'm going to like ask 2 or 3 people about and see what they really think. But like if I go to them and I ask them for advice, I should be willing to take the suggestions that they give me, right? Like, why am I asking for them advice if I already know, And in most situations, like this is something that we say in sobriety, in most situations, my best thinking got me in the situation that I'm in anyway. So probably it would be better for me to maybe listen to somebody else in that situation, depending on, what I'm going through, whether it's buying a car or, taking a trip or a friendship or whatever, And then you have to look at the fact that like the people that you're asking for advice, like my dad, or my sponsor, or Tanya, or her husband, I mean, they love me so deeply and care about me so much that they're not going to give me misleading advice or suggestions. They're going to give me suggestions and advice because they want me to have the best life possible, right? So I'm asking somebody that loves me, tell me what to do, guide my life, and they're giving me that advice. Shouldn't I listen to that? Shouldn't I at least really, really consider that at least? That, like, this might be some of the best advice I've ever heard, Wasn't me. Wonder what it was. Just sounds like a door open, doesn't it? Well, listen, you guys, I think I'm gonna get off here now and listen to a little bit of my, oh my God, it's 3 o'clock, right on the dot. I think I'm gonna listen to a little bit of my audiobook before I get off here. Or before I go home. I'm gonna listen, I said I was gonna listen to an hour, which puts me in bed at 4 o'clock-ish, 4-ish. So I'm gonna get off here and listen to my audiobook for a little bit. I won't make it an hour tonight, I know. I'm tired already. So anyway, I hope you guys are, what is tomorrow, Saturday? I hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, do not have other plans. Make the most of your day. Let me fix my hair. I don't know much about clothes, but my hair looks fierce. My hair looks fierce. Anyway, let's start over. Okay, I hope you guys are having an amazing, that light just went off, that street light, that was so weird. I hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday, unless you have other plans, but like I always say, do not have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something fun today. Do something enjoyable. Lay back, relax. Do something today that will, I just realized I want to get a new workout journal. There's one at Meijer that I want. Do something, because I was thinking, working out. Do something today that will make your future self proud. When you look back on your life 5 or 10 years from now, that you will be really proud of yourself for making that decision today. What's it going to be? Do that today. But also have fun and enjoy yourself. It's the weekend. If you have to work, I hope it goes fast. And yeah, and if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you do your daily affirmations, your positive daily affirmations, and you say to yourself things that you want to believe or that you already believe. And you say, I love you, you are valuable, you are worthy of good things, you are beautiful, you are handsome, you're amazing, you're kind of funny sometimes, and today is going to be an amazing day, full of good things, and 2020 is going to be your year, full of accomplishments and success. It's going to be the best year you have ever had yet. And most importantly, anything else? And No, I don't think so. Any other good things to say about myself today? What else can I say? Any other positive affirmations? And your hair looks really good too, even though you wore a hat all night long. Okay, but anyway, and most importantly, make sure that you pass it on to somebody else and you let somebody else know how much. My sponsor and Tanya were just talking about Aldi tonight. I need to go to Aldi because there's like a new Aldi and I haven't been there yet. But anyway, it used to be Marsh and I'm sad it's not anymore. Most importantly, that was a little side note. Most importantly, make sure that you pass it on to somebody else and let them know you pass it on. Most importantly, make sure that you let somebody else know how much they mean to you today. Anybody, your husband, what? Pick somebody today that is so close to you that you never say it to. Like your husband, your wife, your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, your kid. You probably should be saying it to your son or daughter, right? Or your mom or dad, or your best friend, or the neighbor, and just say, you know what? I don't tell you enough how much you mean to me, and I love you, and I'm so happy that you are in my life. I think that we need to say that more often to the people in our inner circle because they don't hear it enough. And practice some random acts of kindness today. Even just one random act of kindness. And is that it? Tandoor and Tika is a little restaurant over here. Haven't had it yet. So that little thought for the day. And over here, Chuck E. Cheese. Won't be there tomorrow, thank God. Anyway, world's worst pizza. And and no, Alex didn't friend that girl on Facebook. People always ask me that. But she didn't send him a friend request. I don't know if they ever got that far in their conversation. But anyway, at the Chuck E. Cheese. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope you're having an amazing Saturday. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. I cannot start making this a regular, here's my hand. I cannot start making this a regular thing where I add one more I love you. One more I love you. Do you remember that song back in the day? But it was No More I Love Yous. Anyway, by Annie Lennox. I loved it. Okay, but I cannot make this a regular thing. So after tonight, I'm not gonna do it anymore, but maybe randomly every once in a blue moon. And I love the song, Blue Moon, I saw you standing alone. Anyway, I love you guys, and this last I love you is for you. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye. Love ya. Wait. Bye. Love ya. Love ya. Love ya. Love ya. Love ya. Love ya.